file. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. So what I want you to do first, I want us to give it a very beautiful feel, right? So I went on Google and I typed this. I'm going to put it in the chats. You can you As a matter of fact, you can use anything you want. I just put glass morphism on black background. I downloaded this image here. So you can use any image you want, but make sure that when you download it, it should be downloaded as JPEG, right? Should be downloaded as JPEG. So that's the image I put in that file, this particular image. So I just right clicked on this and I said save image as, right? Save image as. Can you see it's a JPEG image? Sometimes you download some, they'll tell you it's a web file. Web file will not work here. You need buttons to bring it out. And that's like advanced stuff. We won't be doing it today. So you can download any picture of your choice. So I downloaded this picture and come and see how I will use this picture. And if you don't have the picture, you can just use a normal black background. So for those of you that were able to download the picture, I think it's only one person that wasn't able to download the picture. So what I want you to do, first of all, this is the empty page. Click on this button here, reports, format your reports page. Click on it, right? Let's click on it and come to Canvas settings. Click on this Canvas settings. Can you see what I did? I clicked on this. I clicked on Canvas settings. And you see type 16:9. That is not what I want. I want a custom background. So I'll click on the drop down and click on custom. Then there's an height, the height 720, width 1280. That's not what I want. So the height I want is what? 1080. So I'm going to leave it on the screen. And the width is what? 1900. So I'm going to leave it on the screen for like 30 seconds. I came to this page. I clicked on Canvas settings. I set the height on 1080. I set the width to 1900. Now this is what I want. The page will become bigger, as you can see. This is fine. Then I'll minimize this. Now, how do we use the image? I'll show you. Come to Canvas background. Click on the chevron here. Then you'll see, you can decide, for those of you that can't use the image, you can just decide to change the color to black and set the transparency to 0. You get a black background, but that is not what I want to do. That is not what I want to do. What I want to do is click on this browse and locate where I have the image. You can see my image here. I'll click on this. I'll click open. Now, I just did that and nothing is showing. Don't panic. Come to this transparency and set it to 0. Then the image will come at the background. Is this what we want? No. So you now come to this image fit. And this is currently on normal. You don't want it to be normal. You set it to what? Fit. Then you have a full image on your screen. I'm going to do it again. Let me cancel this. So first of all, I'm here. I came to Canvas settings. It was initially on 16:9. I set it to custom and I put in these values 1080, 1900. That's for the dimensions that I want for this Canvas background. Then I came down to Canvas background, came to image, click on the browse button here and selected the image which I provided earlier, right? And click on open. Then the image is here, it's just at the center and it's very small. So for you to have it, make sure you set the transparency to 0, right? Then change the image fit to fit. Then you have something full on your screen, which is what we want, right? Now, before I start building, let me bring in the data sets, then we'll come back here. So what I want to do now, look at what I want to do. Let me click on, so you see this page. So this is our page 1. This is where we do our final build. But for us to do all our rough work, right? It's just like imagining like you want to paint, right? I want to mix the paints in a separate place. I don't want to stain my final destination. I want to do the paints mixing in a raw place, right? Look at it that way. Maybe you are doing your paints mixing in your garage. So let's create that our garage. So I'll click on this plus sign here. I'll click on this plus sign. So this plus sign, we're going to do all our workings here. And when we are done, we'll bring everything to this page one that we've created. So I clicked on this plus sign to open a new page. And now I'm on that new page. All right, let's go. Let's bring in the data set. So I'll click on get data. Get data is, make sure you're on the home tab. Get data is the button here. Click on the drop down here. Now, for those of you that are not very familiar, you think that file is an Excel file. It is not an Excel file. It is a CSV file. CSV means comma separated value. So Excel has a limitation. You can't store more than 1,045,000, I think, 1,045,000 records. When I say records, I mean number of rows. You can't store more than 1,045,000 rows. For CSV, you can store a lot more, right? So um, when you click on that get data, don't click Excel workbook. And if you click on Excel workbook and we go to that folder, can you see nothing is showing? Because that file is not an Excel file. But now let me show you. Click on get data and select this what? Text/CSV. Select it. And you see the file is here. Select the file and click on open. So I'm going to wait for you guys here. A model is going to pop up with a preview of the data sets. I'm going to wait here. If you are here, say please type here. HERE. Type here. You are here. Let's see. 1%, 2, 3, 4. This one. So don't click load, right? So the way they've done it, they expect you to click load because they kind of highlighted it here, but no, we want to transform. And you will notice something that you might not have, especially for those of you using Power BI for the first time. You'll notice something. So let me click on transform data and see what will happen. And you'll be shocked that, oh, this thing brought in a new page automatically for me. This new page is called Power Query Editor. Now, to do all your transformation, anything design on Power BI, there's an application that comes with Power BI. It's called Power Query. That is where you do all your data cleaning. I'm sure you must have been hearing about data cleaning, data wrangling, and some of those things. This is where we do that for Power BI before we now do our build in Power BI itself. Power Query is a joint application with Power BI where you can do all your data transformations. And so most of your Power Query would have launched automatically for you once you click on that transform data, right? And in case you didn't click on transform data, in case you clicked on what's the name? In case you click on load and you want to go back to Power Query. To go back to Power Query, once you're on your home tab, click on the transform data drop down and click on transform data. It's going to take you back to Power Query. Now, data cleaning, that thing you used to hear about. You want to do it now. So first thing you will notice, maybe for you, this track name, artist name, and the rest, maybe you see it, maybe it's at the top already for you, right? It's not for me. The way I've set up Power BI, I don't like Power BI. I don't want Power BI to do anything for me. I want to do everything by myself, right? So if yours is already track name, artist name, if you already have yours at the top already, that's fine. Don't do what I'm going to do, right? If you already have track name, artist name, you already have it at the column headers, don't do what I'm about to do. Please, um, if your own track name, artist name, if it's at the top, put stop in the chat. Let me just be sure it's the same thing for some people here. If your own track name and artist name is at the top already, put stop in the chat. If it's not, put not in the chat. Okay, so as expected, it's at the top for a lot of people. So don't do anything. So I'm just going to, and if you look at your own step on this side, on the right side, mine is just showing source. Your own will have something like promoted to headers on the side. That means Power BI has done it automatically for you, which is totally fine. So don't do what I'm about to do now. I just want to catch up with you guys, okay? So I'm going to put my own to the top as well, and which is fine. Now, track name. There's something we call data type in in data analysis, tech world generally. Something like my name, Bemi, is a text, is filled up, it's made up of text characters, right? Text, Bemi, A, B, C, D, like text. My age or the number of times I've gone to the office this year is a number. It is not text, right? So data type is very, very important. For example, this track name, should it be a text or a number? Obviously, you can tell it should be what? A text. So can you see this ABC on the left side of each column? It's telling you that this is a text field. Now, my own, I don't know if it's probably isn't like that for yours because yours is a new Power BI. You've not done anything on it. So it's going to assist you with a lot of things, right? Artist count for you guys, is it text or number? I just need a response from 2 or 3 people. Artist counts, is it text or number? Text or number? Is your own. So how do you know if it's text or number? Look at the top. Are you seeing ABC or you are seeing 1, 2, 3 at this top? Can you see that top here? Are you seeing ABC or 1, 2, 3? You are seeing numbers. Awesome. That is very good. So I'm just going to quickly change mine to a number and that's it. So I'm going to change this mine to a number quickly. Whole number. So you don't have to do what I'm doing now since your whole is already in number. So for release year, release month, release day, just leave it. We'll come back to it. Spotify playlist, Spotify chart, all these ones, they should be numbers. So I'm going to change all of them to numbers. I'm going to right click, change type to number. And I'll tell you, might be like, why am I stressing myself? Why am I doing everything manually? And I'll tell you the reason. Sometimes Power BI will make wrong assumptions and do a transformation for you that you don't want. And if it's a lot of fields that you have, you might not be able to catch everything and it can put you in problem, right? You might be, maybe you've already gone far and you realize, oh, some of the things you have that Power BI has done for you is wrong. Then you have to go back and start changing. So I like being responsible for every change that's going to happen in my Power BI transformation. As a matter of fact, once you become better with Power BI, turn off anything automatic. Do everything by yourself. It's going to save you a lot of stress. So this one as well, I'm going to change this one to number or the key. Key is fine as ABC. Mode is fine as text. So there are other things like danceability, all these ones up to liveliness. I'm going to change everything to what? Change everything to what's that again? Change it to O number. That's fine. I'm just trying to catch up with you guys. You guys have done it already. Then change this one to what's O number as well. Change type. So since this one is just one, I can just click on this ABC and make it what's O number. So we are fine. That's good. Now there's something we have to do together now. There's something we have to do together. Okay, we'll do it in Power BI. So once we are done with this, that's fine. That's everything. You know what you want to do? So you guys didn't really do anything here. That's fine. So you see this close and apply, click on the drop down. And you see 3 options. You see close and apply. You see apply, you see close. That's fine. We are clicking on the first one, which says close and apply. If you click on apply, it will apply all the changes you've done and leave you here. If you click on close, it will not apply any change you made and it will take you back to Power BI. But if you click on close and apply, it will apply all the changes you've made. Then it will close this Power Query Edit and take you back to Power BI. So what I want to do is what? Click on close and apply. So it's going to load for some seconds. If it is going to load for some seconds, then we are back to Power BI. So we'll just wait for it to load and we are fine. Oh, so there's one error. Did you guys get error? Did anybody get error? Put error in the chat if you got an error. Put error in the chat. Error. That's good. So fine, fine. Okay, it's okay. Error. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Thank you. Awesome. So do you know what you do? Click on that view errors to take us back to Power Query. Take us back to Power Query. So these are the things you do. See, as a data analyst, you get a lot of, we call it, technically, we call it debugging. You have to debug a lot of stuff. You like, why is this thing not working? Why is this thing not working? It's not always rosy and "Oh, I'm just building dashboards and everything. Sometimes you spend a lot of time cleaning up messy data. Not all the time, Dami. You don't have to import data all the time. Yes, you sometimes there are things we call semantic models. Sometimes somebody has done all this importation, all this data importation and cleaning for you. Sometimes they'll just give you already imported data and cleaned data. Your own is just to build. For example, where I work, for the business users, those are not very technical. I do all the data cleaning, like all the backend. I do everything for them and I give them already cleaned, like ready to go data sets because some of them know a little bit about Power BI, right? So they will just build based on the data set I've given them. They don't know anything behind it. It's just the design parts they know. But you guys today, you are learning the building, the backend part, and you still learn the design part as well. So sometimes you get already made Power BI data sets that you just work with. Sometimes you have to be the one to import it yourself, but it's good to know both because you'll be importing CSV, you'll be connecting to SQL databases. For those that will be joining the bootcamp, we're teaching you SQL, that's SQL, teaching you SQL, Excel, Power BI. We'll go to Power BI service. You'll be able to do a lot of like advanced stuff. I'm going to show you some of the reports that I've built like in the past. I'm going to show you like this one. I'm going to show you like the advanced version. We're going to do like the normal version here. I'm going to be showing some of these things. Yeah, for a business analyst, you need to know this as well. How do you troubleshoot? In case there are errors, how do you, for example, we got an error now, they're trying to load. How do you troubleshoot? Sometimes when you want to talk to developers, if you worked as a business analyst before, when you want to talk to developers, they have priorities, right? Your own task, they might not be able to attend to you until maybe next week. If I can just go in and troubleshoot these small things, it's going to save you a lot of time instead of you waiting for developers for another 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? So it's good for you to know this thing. I mean, know the basics, know the basics here and be able to do things on your own. So let's look for the error. Let's see. So I'm clicking on these errors in Spotify 2023. Then I'm going to scroll down. If you scroll down, you see this error here. So one way is to select these streams, apply the changes. When you apply the changes, that's when you get the error and we will come back here, right? So Power BI does not work on MacBook. Sorry about that. There are some external third-party apps you could use. Like one is called Parallels, and it's paid. It's not free, right? It's not free. So the best thing is if you really want to be big in Power BI, which I think if you're going into the data analysis field, or if you'll be using Power BI, you need to get a Windows workstation. You need to get a Windows workstation. Okay. So I've clicked on this errors in Spotify, and I saw that the error is under the column called what streams. Another way is to just select any field and press Control A. Control A means you are selecting all the tables, all the fields, right? Control A. You can do that one, or just scroll down, come to where the error is, and click on streams. Now, what do you do? That error, I want to change it. I don't want it to be error. So I'll click on transform. See, I'm currently on home. I'll click on transform. And after clicking on transform, if you just scroll to the right a little, You see this option that says replace value, right? That's one way. You can also click on that streams. Yeah, if you also right click on that streams, you will see this place that says replace values, replace errors, right? So you can get it by coming to transform, come in here, click on the drop down that says replace values, and you see replace errors, or just right click on streams, right click on it and say replace errors. Then to bring up this um modal here or this dialog box. It says, yeah, you want to replace the error. What do you want to replace it with? I say replace the error with 0. Is that all? Yes, that's all. And you click on OK. Then change it to 0. Once we are done, come back to home. Once you come to home, click on close and apply again. Close and apply. Then it's going to load. Then the error is gone. If your error is gone, please put gone in the chat. I just need to hear from 5 people. So we'll go to the fancy stuff now. If your error is gone, put gone in the chat. Gone. Put gone in the chat if your error is gone. Latif, so in case you don't have 2 screens, right? Like I said, don't, if you are trying to watch the video, trying to watch me, trying to do it, you are going to get lost. So please, if you don't have 2 screens, just watch me and do it later. Do it. This video will be made available to you, right? The video will be given to everybody. You'll be sent the YouTube link. It's going to be made available to everybody. So you can still have it. So just chill, watch it, ask questions. Don't try to follow me if you don't have 2 screens. That's good. So now let's do some things. This page is called the report view. This is called the report view. Report view. Now, if you want to see the data, you have to go to the table view. So if you come here, this is report view. Just under it is called the table view. I'll click on the table view. Then you see the data like Excel format. But unlike Excel, you can't click inside and make changes. It doesn't work. This is Power BI. You can't just change anything here. So this is the data set. Now, I want to add a new column to this table. Look, we have release year, release month, release day. But I'd like to have like a date, like a date field. So we just have release date. I don't want to have, I mean, we'll still keep release year, release month, and release day, but I'd like to have a new table that's called a new field. So when I say field, field means column. So in data world, generally, when you hear field, so this is column. It's also called field. It's also called attributes. But people usually call it fields or column. You see professionals call it fields, amateurs call it column. You don't call it column here. It's fields, or sometimes when you hear people call it column, you know the person is still new, but it's called fields. And these rows here, people call it rows. How many rows? But professional people will call it what? Records. They say how many records. So it's very easy to remember. Records start with an R, row starts with an R. So records, row, they mean the same thing. Then fields, column, they mean the same thing. Okay, awesome. So we want to create a new column called dates, which will be a combination of this release year, release month, and release day. It will form a date together. How do we do it? Very simple. So what I will do, I'll click on this. Can you see this place that says new column? Click on new column. Let me zoom in so you can see. New column. So I'll give the column a name. I'll call it what? Release. So if you see all they are named, they start with what? Small letters. So it's good to follow the same pattern. And anytime we have spaces, they join them with an underscore, right? So it's good to have consistency when you're working. So you say release here, release underscore here. Good. How do I combine we have release year, we have release month, we have release day. How do we combine all these things together? Sorry, someone's still asking for the link. Let me see. I'm just going to send it to everybody. So And don't worry, in the YouTube video that I'll be sharing, I'll put the link to the chat to the I'll put the link to the file there as well, so you won't get lost. So even if you are just coming in, just look at the remaining, see the possibility, see what you can do with Power BI. So let's call release year. How do I combine release? Oh, sorry, I'm supposed to call it release date, not release year. We already have release year already. So what we want to do is that we have release year, release month, release day. We want to combine the three of them to form what? Release date. So I'll type release date is equal to, then I'll type dates. I'll open my brackets. So it's asking me, tell me the year, tell me the month, tell me the day. Separate each of them with a comma. So I'll say for the year, pick the year from release year. Once I type release, right? Once I type release, you can see if that release year. So I'll just select release year. I'll put my comma. The next one, I can just type months. Okay, let me just type release months. It's better. Release. Second one, release months. I'll select it. I'll pick my comma. And the last one for the day, use release day. Close my bracket. See what will happen. Can you see? Now, for you to let me see if I can drag this here. Okay, it's not easy. It's not working. Look at the release here for this one. 2022, 12, 9. So let's look at the dates. 2022, 1209. So we created, so that formula we wrote to create this is called DAX, D-A, data analysis expression. It's called DAX, D-A-X, data analysis expression. So you've just written your first DAX to create a release date. Now, it's storing it in a format called date time format. We don't want date time format. We just want it to be a date field. So once you select it, if you look at the left here, you see it's a date time. We don't want it to be a date time. We want it to be a date field. So I'll click on this drop down and say, give me a date field. Fine. Now it's a date field. You can see, oh, it's December 9, 2022. Even I don't want it to be that way. I just want it to be a short date, 2022, 12, 9. I don't want you to give me December and everything. So what will I do? I'll click on this format and say short date. Now, 2022, 1209. Good. We've created our date field. Now I'm going to do a magic. It's very important to do it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to paste the code in the chat and I'm going to explain it. So I'll post the code in the chats for you guys to see. Let me just copy and paste the code. Okay, get let me simplify it for pasting it for you guys. Okay, you know what, instead of pasting it, let me do it from scratch. So now we have dates. It's always good to create something we call a calendar table. It's very, very important that we create a calendar table, right? Very, very important that we create a calendar table. You can add other dimensions to it when it is created. So you can have things like, oh, is it a weekend? Is it a public holiday? Depending on the country you are in, you can have lots of attributes. So we want to create a new table called a calendar table. So let me come back to this table view here. I'll click on home, right? So I want to create a table. I want to call the name of the table calendar. So if you come towards the middle here, you see this option that says new table. New table. If you've seen this new table here, that is what we are going to click. So I'll click on new table. So we are doing the most difficult part, right? The difficult part is what we are doing. After this one, just design. We will choose color. We want to design the file data set. So we're going to colors that look like Spotify. We'll make sure the color looks like Spotify. I'll teach you. So it's good for you to know how to um, create a functional Power BI report. But it's also fine if you can create a beautiful functional Power BI reports. And that is one of the advantage I have going work. People create Power BI reports like normal Power BI reports. It's just for it to be functional. But when I came in, I added design focus to my Power BI. So most of the reporting is now coming to me. As a matter of fact, in we have a project. We are migrating SAP Crystal reports, right? About 276 of those reports. We are migrating them to Power BI, and I'll be leading that project, right? So based on the things I've done, so I'll be handling that project. That will be the project we're doing for the year. So it's good for you to be able to build functional reports, and it's for you to be able to build beautiful functional reports. So I'm going to give you like a tip towards building a beautiful report, and of course later on in the boot camp, you see other material, other resources you can use to build beautiful reports. I'm going to show you one of the ones I built um for this same data set we're working on. Also, somebody has a question. The year in the new column is 1912 instead of 2022. I don't understand. Who also has 1912 release date? So there are different release dates. If I'm not, there are some for 1930, 19. Anyway, so okay, so let's click on home. Click on new table. Now we want to build what's a calendar table. Fine. So I'll call it what? Calendar is equal to. Now hold down your shift key. As a matter of fact, so we don't struggle with this. I, I will send this to us. So let me put this calendar auto. I will send this to the chat. So everybody, but can you guys even copy from the chats? Actually, I don't think you guys can copy from the chat. If you guys can copy from the chat, then let's do it this way. Can somebody try to copy from the chat? Copy and paste it. See if you can copy. I don't think it's enabled for you guys. I'm not sure. Anybody try and give me a feedback if you can. So we'll just do it one by one. We'll type it out. Oh, okay, not enabled. That's fine. Let's do it. So don't worry too much about the workings of this query. It's the code. Even me, I I don't try to do it. I don't copy it once I've used for and paste and use. I don't need to start. Oh, how do I? I don't do that. So it's a reusable code. I use it for all my projects. I just copy and paste depending on the amount of depending on the attributes that I need to write. So once I press calendar is equal to, try to do everything on one line. You type, let's type calendar auto. You see this calendar auto? I'm coming. Okay. So okay, let's use the normal one. Let's use calendar and let's just use calendar auto. You see this calendar auto? Type calendar auto and close the brackets. That's comma. And put a comma. Calendar auto, put the brackets. That's comma. No. I want us to do everything. I'm thinking, should we do everything in one field? Should we do everything at once, or should we do everything? Should we do everything at once, or should we do it one by one? Let's do it one by one, so people will not get lost. Let's do it one by one. So say calendar is equal to what? Calendar auto. Let's say calendar is equal to calendar auto. This is the first step. Calendar is equal to calendar auto, and press enter. Cannot find a base column of dates in the table. Oh, we've not changed that field to a dates field. Okay, then let's do it manually then. So type calendar, open your brackets. So for the start date, type dates, open the bracket. Let our year be let's say 2020, let's say 2020, comma. Let our month be 01. Let our day be 01. We'll close the brackets. So we are done with the start date. So this is the calendar. there are two parameters in it. We have start dates, end dates. So for the start dates, I typed, so this is it again, calendar. So it's asking me what's the start date. So I'll type dates and say this is the year of the dates, 2020, 01, comma, 01. I'll close it. So I'm done with the start date. So I'll press a comma. And for the end date, I'll type date again that I want to enter a date. So stop it at what? 2025. This time around should be the 12th, then 31st. Then I'll close my brackets for the dates. That's one bracket. Close my bracket again for the full calendar table and I'll press enter. So I'm going to leave this code on the screen for you guys to see. I'll leave it on the screen for you guys to see. So immediately you've been able to do this thing and you see this date field show up. Just put date in the chat. So I'll start doing the next thing. So I'm going to leave the screen on the, I'm going to leave the code on the screen. So somebody has done a date. We have to, let me get up to maybe 5 people at least. You've been able to create these dates. We have 3 people that have created the dates. That's fine. 4, that's fine. Okay, good. So do you know what you would do? You see this option that says mark it as a dates table. So select this thing. Oh, sorry, again. Okay, so we've selected the first one. We've created it. Let's come select it. Come to this table tools, and so once we select it, come to table tools and click on what? Mark as date table. Then to bring up this thing. Let me do it again. So select the dates, click on table tools and select mark as date table. Then you see this pop up here and click on turn it on. Say which column should I make a date column? It's still this dates. Select the dates, validated successfully, and click on save. So we told Power BI this is a date table, right? Good. Awesome. So if you come to this column tools, still selecting it. It's currently on date time. We don't want it to be date time. The same thing we did the last time. Change it to what? Dates. Once you change it to dates, and we can select this and change it into a what? A short date. That's good. Now we have this. I also want to create months. How do we create months? Good. So I'll come to home and say new column. I'll say new column. So let me start with year. I'll call it year. How do I create year? What I want to do is I want to write a function that's going to extract the year from this date. How do I do it? Very simple. The formula is called year. You open your brackets. Now it's asking you, you want me to take year from what? Yeah, take year from this our calendar date table that we created. So you see this calendar dates. Once you type calendar, you see this option that says calendar dates. Select it and close your brackets. Immediately you see, if you scroll down, once we get to 2021, you see it's 2021. If you scroll down, once you get to 2022, it's 2022. Fine. Now let's extract the month. This time around, we'll call it month number. So I'll come here again, click on new column again. I'll call this one month number. I'll say months. So the formula is months. Month of what? Calendar. So you see, refer back to this calendar date, this one. I want you to extract the months from this calendar date. So I'll select it. I'll click on this and press OK. That's good. So you can see January is 1. If you scroll down, February is 2, which is fine. Let's get I've gotten the month, I've gotten the year. Let's get the month's name as well. How do we now get month's name? We've gotten the month number. How do we get month's name? So I'll come here, I'll say new column. I don't want it to show me one for January. I want it to show me January info. How do we get it? Very simple. Let's call it month's name. The formula is called formats. That you want to format this thing in a new way, right? The formula is called formats. And all the formula that I used here, I can copy and paste and send everything in a document to that same Google Drive that you guys have. So you can have access to all these formulas later, right? And if you watch the video, you can still see me writing the formula. You can just copy it down. So I want to format calendar dates. I want to select that calendar dates I created, the first one, comma. So how do I want to format it? You open your quotes. If I say M, if I put M 4 times, I'll close the quotes and close the brackets. That's just what I've done. If I press enter, you see January, February. If I wanted to give me just short name, Jan, because when you're building your visuals, this January will take too much space, right? Just want the short name. You can change this thing to what? 3 M's. It will give you Jan. If you change it to 2 M's, it will just give you first 2 digits, 01. But want it to give us like Jan, Feb, March, and like that. So we'll get this. We have Jan. If you scroll down, Feb, June, and the rest. Now, there's one more thing we will do before we start building. I'll come to this third tab that says model view. I'll come here. I can expand. In case you don't see, you can click on this scroll down, this scroll bar to scroll down. It said, how did I know to format just the months from the calendar date? So it's based on what I want. I want the months for the report I want to build. I need the months. Some people will probably need the name of the day as well. Maybe they want to break down things by day of the week. They can go ahead and get, the day of the week and the rest. But for me, I just need the months and this is what I want. So I decided to do months. If months day, very simple. This instead of MMM, you just change it to DDD. See, it will extract the day of that week for you. But what I want is just and to get year is very simple. Just type year is equal to year of calendar date, and you'll get year. That's very simple. For month number, you just do month of calendar date, you get months, you get the month number. So don't that format. And for you to get the month in terms of name, just do format calendar date and put MMM to get the short form month name and M in 4 places to get the full month name. So after we're done with this, we call to this third icon here called the model view. And we'll scroll down in case once you open it, you probably see your own this way, but you can scroll down and see release dates, right? And you now drag this release dates. See what I'm going to do? I'm going to click on it, drag it, and make sure I drop it on date. Let me do it again. I got here by clicking on this third tab. So if you don't have two screens, don't try to do because you might get lost, right? You might get lost. If you can watch, don't worry, the video will be made available to you. So we'll be able to finish this thing at the end of the day, right? We'll be able to finish so everybody will be able to at least benefit from the video. So if you click on this, naturally it will be here at the top. So you can scroll down and you see release dates. So click on this release dates and drag it and drop it on what? Dates. So it's going to bring up this here. It's telling you, are you sure you want to join release dates, right? Release dates from the Spotify 23 data set. You want to join this to the dates from this calendar table you created? I'll say yes. It's telling you the relationship is many to one. That is what it should give you. Then you click on what? Save. So you see a line that's going to link these two together. This line is called the relationship. It's connecting the date here to the date here. And you see why we are doing that very soon. So we are now set. Let's start doing something. So let me come back here and I'm going to do something quickly. I'm going to create some new set of measures. So there's something we call measures, right? I'm just going to make sure I can still see your, okay, let's see. I want to make sure I can still see you guys. I can still see your chat here. Okay, so there's something we call measures. And I'm going to I want to create like a separate folder where I can store all my measures. Let's go. So how do I create a separate container for my measure? On this home button, just beside SQL Server, you see this enter data, enter data. Click on that enter data. I'll cancel it and show you again. When you're back to this report view, this page, on the home tab, you will see enter data here. Click on it. And it's giving us something here. I'll delete this table that is here. So I'll put hash. You can put any symbol, and I'll explain why I'm putting a symbol here. Hash, I'll call it measures. You can even call it hash formulas. You can call it hash DAX, DAX. But I use hash measures, and that's what I've been using for a long time. Hash measures, and I'll click on load. Now, it will come up here at the right hand side. Hash measures. Now, why did I put the hash sign? It's not a technical stuff or nothing. It's just this place is arranged in alphabetical order. And if I put this hash symbol, it's going to make it appear at the top. So anytime I want to create new measures, I can just easily go to the top. Imagine when you're working in a normal standard organization, you can have like 20 tables here. So imagine looking for where is my measures, trying to scroll through everything, right? So that's why I put hash here. So it comes to the top. Now, I will do something. I will right click on these measures. Make sure you right click on these measures. I'll say new measure. I want to count the number of tracks because this is a Spotify, in case you guys don't know, it's a Spotify playlist. It has different information about songs, the artist name, the name of the songs. So we have their acousticness, danceability, how energetic is the song, when was the song released. We have lots of information about the song. So now I want to count the number of songs. I want to count this track name that we have. And how do I do it? I'll right click on measure, click on new measure, and say, oh, I want to get, let me zoom in so we can see my formula well. I want to see the total songs that we have in this data set. So I'll call it tracks. Let's call it tracks. Is equal to how many do we have? I want to count the total songs. Can somebody tell me what do you think is the formula to count the total number of tracks that we have here? Can anybody just guess? Tell me. I think you people should be able to unmute, right? Yeah, you people should be able to unmute. Yeah, very simple. The formula to count the song is counts. So just type counts. So this is what I usually do. When I type this thing and it's already on the one I want, I'll just type tab to bring it up. Or just type it. And once you see the one, just the one you are looking for, click on it. Count. Now, what do I want to count? I want to count. So there's a field called tracks. If you remember, sorry, I'm doing this. I have to go back to it. There's a field called what? Tracks. Or track name is the name, if I remember. Track name. I want to count this track name. So even if you type it there, immediately it's going to complete it for you. So I want to say I want to count track. Can you see? The way this thing is structured is to show you the name of the table first, then the name of the field or column. So the name of the table is Spotify 23. That's how you can see it here. And what I want to count is what? I want to count track name that is inside this table called Spotify 23. So that's why I see it in this format. So I'll select it. And that's all. I'll close the bracket. You'll be like, okay, how can we see the total tracks? You just calculated it. For you to see it, you will need the help of all these things we call visuals. So I'm just going to do a simple one. I'm going to bring out this table visual. Table visual is the one here. If you look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fifth row, the second to the last item there is called your table visual. I click on it. Once I click on it, make sure it is selected and click on tracks. You'll be able to see there are many tracks in total. There are 953 tracks. Good. That's the first thing. I want to do something. There's a field called danceability. What is the average danceability of all the songs released in 2023? Because this data is for 2023. So, okay, sorry, this data was done in 2023. That songs for different release years. So over time, from inception, for all the songs we have, what is the average danceability song? We can say, oh, on all the songs on Spotify, what do you think is the average danceability song, danceability score? So there's a field called danceability. So let us look at what is the average danceability score. How do you think we calculate it? The first thing we need to do, right click on measure, click on new measure, and this time around, let's call it danceability. Danceability is equal to, once calculate average danceability score. What do you think is the average danceability score? How do you think we can calculate the average danceability score? What do you think is the formula? So Power BI is so simple. You don't even need to, you can't be wrong. 80% of the time when you want to get this thing, you will be right, right? The average, calculate average, the formula is called average. And the column you want to calculate average for danceability. So just type dance. Immediately it's telling you, oh, on Spotify 23, there's a field called danceability. Yeah, this is what we are looking for. Close the brackets. We've completed our average danceability. The same thing for energy. There's a field called energy. Let's just calculate the average for the song as well. Same way, I'll right click on new measure. I'll say energy and say, what is the average energy? Average, just type average, type energy to bring it out. Select it, close the brackets. We calculated the average energy. And if you want to see them as well, just click on this table, check it here, check it here. Oh, the average energy is 64%. The average danceability is 66.97%. So that's fine. Now let us look at there's a field called streams. So each of these songs, you used to hear it a lot. Oh, my song has the highest streams. My song has the highest stream. So each of these songs, look at the artist here. Each of these songs have what? Streams. Can we see the most streamed song? Which song was which? Let's see the highest streams first. The highest number of streams. Let's calculate the highest number of streams first. Right? What is the highest number of streams? I'll right click on this and call it max streams. Max streams. I want to get the maximum number of streams. Can anybody guess how do you can calculate the maximum number of streams? What do you think formula will be?
Max stream.
Max, very, 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 very simple. Max. So it won't be max streams because streams is what we want to calculate. What if we want to calculate max danceability, for example? We can still, so it's max, it's not max streams. But because we're using it to calculate streams this time around, we call it max streams, right? So the formula is called max. And what calculate max of what? Max of streams. Just type streams to come up. That's it. Close your brackets. This is the maximum number of streams. Let's even look at it to see how people are streaming songs. If I click on this max streams, I've selected this table. If I click on max streams, there's a song that was streamed almost 4 billion times. In case you want to see it easily, I can click on this max streams and select this comma. I click on this max streams here in the measure and click on comma so you can separate it well so we can see. See, 3 billion. The file is not auto save window, you have to save. That thing is very terrible. Sometimes you'll be working and Power BI will crash. But one beautiful thing about Power BI is that if it crashes, it has something called auto recovery. So it will take you back to where you were before. So, but save, you should save. But I mean, nothing can crash. We're working with very simple data. So don't worry about saving now. We'll save after we are done with all this. So we have max streams. This song, that the maximum string was done 3.7 billion times. There was a song uh that was streamed 3.7 billion times. The person must have cashed out. Now, how can we know the song that was streamed 3.7 billion times? Now, this one is a bit tricky. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. It's a bit tricky, but I'm going to show you. So let's right click on this new measure. Let's call it what? Most streamed song. Most streamed song is equal to. Now we will introduce something called calculate. Now, let us break it down in English. Can anybody try? Explain it to me. I want to see the songs, the most streamed song, right? The most streamed song. I'll first look at I'll look at their streams. I'll now look for the ones that have what? The highest streams, right? So first I need to get all the songs. I need to get all the songs. That's what I need. I need to first get all the songs. Then I will now calculate the one that has what? The highest streams. Just a second. Um, mm, okay, so let's do it. So first, I will say I want the max song, max string. What's the name? Song. Sorry. So the song here is called track name. So I'll say I want maximum track name. Like I want the highest track name, the maximum track name, right? So this is how to do it. Let me show you. We'll call calculate. Normally, I can just say anytime you want to apply some filters. Remember, I want to apply a filter that, oh, I'm only looking for the song that has the highest stream. I want to filter it to the song that has what? The highest stream. So anytime you are applying a filter, you need to use the function called calculate. So I'll say calculate the max, I'll say track name. See the track name. I'll select this track name. I'll close my brackets. I'll put my comma. Now, I'm going to leave the formula on the screen. And don't worry, how am I getting all this formula? For those of you that will be in bootcamp, you will know how to write all this formula by yourself. And it's very, very simple. Then we'll also teach you how to use ChatGPT to write most of these things. So it's going to make you very, very efficient, right? You don't need to cram. Gone are the days when I started Power BI, I crammed a lot of formulas. I have formula sheets that I'll be looking at, but ChatGPT has made everything simple, right? I don't even need to cram anything. I just go to, oh, I need to calculate this thing. Give me the formula. ChatGPT will give it to me directly. So ChatGPT will make you a better data analyst. So now I want to calculate the maximum Spotify track name. Okay, what's the condition? The condition is that the streams, so I'll select the Spotify streams. These streams must be equal to the highest number of streams. I'll say this stream must be equal to the max streams. So I'll leave this, I'll close the brackets here and close the outer brackets. So I'm going to leave this thing on the board for a while. Um, I'm going to leave it on the screen for a while so you can digest the formula. I said I want the max song. I want the max song. Okay, max song. So what's so special about the max song? I only want it for a case whereby the number of streams of that particular song is equal to the highest. That is how I've written the logic to get the song that has the highest streams. And if I click on end, I'm going to leave it on the screen for a while, probably put it in the chats for you guys to see. So at least if you can't copy it, you can just type it. So if I press enter, let's even see the song that has this highest number of streams. Let's even see it. What song is that? Yes, the Power BI was working, trying to see which song is that. It's called Blinding Lights. Called Blinding Lights. And the same thing, if you want to see the artist, if you want to see the artist that has that highest number of songs, and just copy the same formula and right click on it and say most streamed artist. Most streamed artists. I copied that for old, and instead of the only thing I will change is that instead of track name here, I'll put artist name, first one. I'll say this time I want the artist name of the songs whereby the stream is equal to the max stream. So I just change the track name, I change it to artist. Same formula like that one. So it will be most streamed artist. That one to also be most streamed song. Sorry for the typo. Most streamed song. So if you want to look at the most streamed artists, let me select this. I think it's the weekend. Yeah. So the weekend. So this is fine. One more thing I want us to do is actually very simple. We calculated the danceability. I'm going to, I'll say remaining, and you see why I'm doing it when we are building now. I'm creating a new measure called danceability, danceability, or let me just say remainder danceability, remainder dance. Let's just make it short. So this will be 100 minus, you know that danceability we've calculated before. So let's type danceability. I'll select it. This danceability that I've calculated before. So I'm saying remainder dance. You see what I'm saying? You see why I'm doing it now. I'll press enter. And for the energy that we calculated as well, we'll do remainder. You know, it's in percentage and the sold us is 64%. We want to calculate something for remainder. So when I'm building a pie chart or a donut chart, you will see how you can use this. So I'll click on new measure and call it remainder underscore energy is equal to 100 minus energy that we calculated before. So we are done with all our measures now. Now it's time to start building. So what I'm to do, I want to create, okay, I think I missed something as well. I wanted to do, no, that's fine. That's fine. So we can have calculated the max streams. I want us to also calculate the average streams, average number of streams. So let's say average streams, and it's very simple. Just say average and put streams in the brackets and close it. That's how to calculate average streams. Okay, so before I start building, I like to create like a template where I'll put in everything I'm building, right? Where I put in everything I'm building. So let's how do it, how should we put this together? Mm, okay, so I'm thinking of a design that would be so nice that we can use. Okay, so let's go back to our page one. Remember our page one that we imported this thing on? Now, I'll come to insert. Okay, before we do that, let's bring in all the visuals I want to see. So if you see this line chart here, this second one here is the first option on the second row. If you click on this line chart. Now let's look at the number of streams over time, right? Let's look at the number of streams that we've had. Let's look at it over time. So Or let's look at the number of songs that we've had by the different release dates. So let's see. I'll come here. Let me bring in what's the number of tracks. What do we use to calculate tracks? So this is tracks. I'll select this line charts, right? And select these tracks, right? Once you select these tracks here, Power BI is smart enough to know that, oh, this thing will be in the x-axis, it will be in the y-axis, the tracks here. But in case you don't want to do it by yourself, you can just drag it and drop it here by yourself. It will still work. Or you can still drag whatever you want and drop it on the visual yourself. It will still work. But most times when you just click it, once you select the visual and you click it, it's going to come up here. Now, this is the number of tracks, 953. We want to break it down by dates over time. I want to see the trend. So what will I do? I'll come to calendar. This date, I can just click on it. It will come. Or I can drag it and put it on the x-axis. And you see that, oh, over the years, this is it. This is nice. This is the first thing we want to see. Okay, so this is nice. What else do we want? What else do we want? I want to see the total number of streams that we have. Let me minimize this here. You can see the movements. See, oh, 2022, we didn't really have a lot of tracks, but like from 2022, people were releasing more. Look at here, and if you're analyzing the data, you can see some patterns already. You can see that we're having spikes around January and around June, July. Same thing here. Can you see January around June, July? So you can begin to find out, are there events that are happening around that period? Why are people releasing a lot of songs around January? What major events is happening around that time? Why are people releasing a lot of songs around that time? No, you can start doing further analysis to see some of these things. So let's drag this down to one side. I want to bring out something else. You see this third icon here called clustered bar chart? I'm going to select it. So this is one thing. Some people make a lot of mistakes. While you are still selecting this thing, if you mistakenly select cluster bar chart, it will change this thing to a cluster bar chart, which is not what we want. So make sure you click outside. Don't click outside. Make sure you're not clicking on anything and select what? Clustered bar charts. Now, I minimize this a little. Now for this cluster bar chart, I want to see the total streams that we have. Did I calculate the did I calculate the total streams? Did I calculate uh, total streams? Okay. You don't even need to you don't even need to write the measure in this case. We could have written the measures, but not in this case, maybe no need. If you just scroll down, if you scroll down to your Spotify here, the Spotify data, you see the streams that you have here. If you click on it, it immediately goes to what the x-axis as what sum of streams. That's fine. We won't be doing a lot of this thing here. This is the sum of streams. And now I want to see for each song, I want to see how many times they were streamed. So I will now go to the track name. I'll just click on it. It will immediately go to the y-axis. You can see blinding lights. You can see after blinding lights, the next most streamed song is what? Shape of You. After that is Someone You Love. You can see everything here. Let's see if we can expand it a little. Yeah, so you can see this one here as well. This is nice. Let's keep this one here. This is nice. Again, what else can we visualize? Let's see in terms of a pie chart, and you see why I did what I did earlier. Let's come to this place. Towards the end, can you see this donut charts? I don't want to use the pie chart. I just like this donut chart. It's better for me. I find it better to manipulate in terms of design. So I'll select this donut charts. Let me minimize it here. I want to visualize two things, and you see why I did 1 minus energy the last time. So this is energy. We calculated average energy the last time, just average of energy. So I'll click on energy. I'll drop it here, and immediately it goes to what? The values. Now, what is that remainder energy? That 1 minus energy that I did, I will also click on it. So since the energy is 64%, I want the remainder to take the shape. Look at it when I did not put the remainder. It's just going to show me everything that, oh, energy is 64%. It doesn't make sense. 64%, we know it's 64 out of 100, right? So I had to do something else to be able to have that remainder portion. That's why I did 1 minus energy to get the remainder portion, which is what we have here. So I want to make this slice like a bit slimmer. So I'll click on this middle button here. Okay, before we do that, we'll do everything together. So let's just do the others, then we'll come back to this. So I'll click on this. Let's select pie chart as well. I mean donuts charts, and let's do let me minimize this a little. Let me minimize this. And let's do one more for we did for energy. Let's do for danceability, 66.9%. And let's look at 1 minus remainder danceability. That 1 minus danceability, let's put it here as well. So to get them in form of like importance of a whole circle. So this is fine. We have this already. And all this number of tracks and everything that we have, I would like to um bring different cards for them. So let me just drag this one here and let me bring in a card visual. You see this card visual is the fifth one here. Sometimes you people will find it somewhere in the middle. It's fine. So select this 1, 2, 3. Or should we use let me see, can we use this table instead? And can we use this table instead? No, let's bring in cards. So I'll bring in this card 1, 2, 3, and put these tracks there. Let's have a max streams. Max streams is 4 billion. So let me bring in another card. Make sure you click out before you click on another one. Let's click on average streams. Average streams is what? 54.14 billion. That's fine. Um, let's bring in another card. Let's see, can we bring in number of tracks? 7, that's 953. Can we bring most streamed song? Most streamed song. Let me bring in one more. Most streamed song. Most streamed song. Blinding lights. Let me bring in another one. Another card. Most streamed artist is most streamed artist. Let's bring it here. The Weekend. Most streamed as artist. I think this is fine. So these are all the things I want to use. So what's the next thing? What should we be doing next? Um, Let me see. We can. Okay, let's bring in this one here. So the first thing I want to insert shapes, placeholders for everything we'll be doing. So I'll click on Insert and click on Shape. So this time around, don't worry, just watch me do the design so that I can do the design. You watch it before if I decide to explain it step by step and be able to finish on time, right? So watch me do the design, then I'll take questions. So I'll click on this. I want this rounded rectangle. This is what I want. I want this rounded rectangle. Let me just shift it here, put it here, here. I don't want it to touch all the edges, just make it close enough. And once this shape is selected, I'll come to shape, click on the drop down. I wanted the rounded corner to just be 5%. That's fine for me. If it looks like 5% is too much, let me put it on 3%. 3% is fine. So I'll come to this style. The color, I want the color to be black. And I'll set the transparency to 80%. Or 80% is let's set it to like maybe 45. Okay, let's set the transparency to 45. So you can see it has a blue line. I don't like it, so I have to turn on that blue line. So on that style, I've set the transparency to 45%. I'm going to turn off the border, right? And this is fine for me. Now you'll be like, "I don't really see anything now." Don't worry, just chill. So I'm going to copy and paste this. So I have another one. I'll make it smaller. I'll make it smaller. This one. So this image that I selected here, I want it to be the background. So what I will do, I'll send it to the back so it doesn't disturb the rest I'm working on. How do I do it? I'll select the main one. Say I've selected this main one. Can you see this other one? The new one I just created is hidden at the back, right? That's why I said you should watch. I'll select this main one, come to formats and say send to back. If I click outside now, see when I click, the new one's here. So good. I'll select this new one. I want to make this new one a bit darker, so I will reduce the transparency. I'll reduce the transparency of the new one to maybe um, let's put it at 30%. 30%. So it's going to be a bit darker. And I want to give it a border. I'll turn on the border and click on the icon here. The border, I want to make the border like this color, this color here. Some you can also make it white. Just want to give it a beautiful feel. So this is the border. Um, Let me make the transparency of the border. Maybe I should make the transparency of the border. Let me make the border white and make the transparency 50%. Set the transparency to 50% for the border. So these are just designs that I want to do. So let me copy this, put it here, maybe reduce it a little. Yeah, I'll copy and paste it here. So this is how I do my design. Let me increase this a little, reduce this a little here. And okay, so this is nice. Then I'll copy this and paste it again. This time I want to make this one smaller. Let's make this one a bit smaller as well. So it's just based on your own preference, right? And you'll be wondering, what is this guy doing? Don't worry, you'll understand very soon. So this one, I want to copy and paste it again. No, let me still increase this a little. Let me increase this a little. Um, reduce this a little, copy and paste. And you see how I'm trying to make sure they align. I'm adjusting it. See, if you see how I'm doing it, you see the red lines that are coming up, showing me, oh, see, showing me they're on the same line like this. So that's why I'm trying to get them to be aligned. Alignment makes sense. It's very, very important. Now I'm going to do two more. Just going to make it smaller a bit. Control C, Control V. I'm going to make this smaller. So this is the shape I want to build. Now I'll copy this one and paste it again. So I'll take questions from you guys, don't worry. I'll copy and paste this one. And make sure it's around the same. Okay, this one, I want to increase the rounded edges to about maybe 35. But this one, I don't want it to have any outline. I don't want it to have any outline. I don't want it to have any outline, so I'll come to and click on. So for the, let me click outside here. For the canvas background, I want to set the transparency to 15% to make it a bit lighter. So I clicked on the edges here. So I'm touching the canvas background. Select this canvas background and set it to 15%. So it's a bit lighter. I can see all the images that I have here more clearly. Okay, good. Now we can start bringing in stuff. So let me start with this one. Bring it in, right? Um, I've cut it. I'll put it here. Then I want to make sure it kind of fits in. So all these things where I work and a lot of places I've seen, they don't even create all this background. They just put the images there, and people use it like that. So imagine you can do this thing on your own. It's going to be very beautiful. So what I want to do, I want to turn off this background, this white background, and all these lines. So what will I do? I'll come here, um, general, right? I select the image, come to general, come to effects, and turn off the background. Okay, that's fine. Um, for the title, I want to be tracks by release dates. Release dates. And let's make the text color of the title white. So it's a tracks by release date white. So I'm taking this so that when you are watching the video to recreate on your own, you'll be able to follow along, right? So come back to visual. I don't like these grid lines, right? At least the vertical one, not the, let's turn it off. And there's a bug. Sometimes you turn off this vertical, this horizontal one doesn't come up. It's fine. So now I want to change color. I don't want the color here. Remember, it's Spotify, right? It's Spotify. Let's even go on Google and say, I want to use the color that is related to Spotify. How do I do it? You just come to Google and I can say Spotify color palette. Click on the first option. See, it's showing me the color palettes for Spotify. These are the colors here. This is nice. So the green here is what? 1DB194. I can copy this code, copy it. Where will you use the code? Come and see. Come back to Power BI. And one more thing I want to do. Let me click on here and say Spotify logo. Let's see. Click on images. Hmm, I want a Spotify logo that is kind of green. I think this one is nice. But if we try to save this one, let's say save as. It is a web file. It's not a JPEG, right? It's a web file. So let me take my sniping tool, right? Let me take my sniping tool and take a picture of this. Let me take a picture of this and I'll save it. Um, where's my sniping tool? So let me take my sniping tool again. Take a picture of this. So save. Let's say save as. Let's just put it on downloads. That folder. Nice. See what I will now do. Let me insert image. This is the image screenshot. So while the image is selected, come to style, change it to what fits. So let's expand it. and make it, let's reduce it a little. And put it on the top right corner. So it doesn't go to the back. Once it's selected, select formats. You see this bring forward, say bring to the front. I mean, it might work without doing that, but and you see how beautiful the logo is standing at that top corner. So now let's go back. Um, okay. I'm going to do something now. Michael is going to, I'm going to quickly show you something. See this color palette that I took here. We're going to be working on this color palette when we come back. Let me just quickly show you this then. I'll let Michael talk. He's going to quickly address us before we continue. So look at this color palette. This is where we'll be picking all our colors from. It guides you, helps you to what? Select colors. So you just don't use random colors. So this is the Spotify green color. So I'm picking this Spotify green, right? So I want this line to have that color. So I'll select this line. I'll select this chart here, come to it. How do I change the color of these lines? I will come to this place that says what? Lines. And currently we have all this information about line. If you look at the bottom, you see color. The color is currently blue. We don't want blue. So I'll click on this drop down color. Now I have the X code of that color already. So I'll click on more colors and paste that X code that I copied. I'll paste it here. And immediately I will have that green here. And that grid line that we have here, let's just make it maybe a bit darker so it blends in with the background. Yeah. So this is the first one, track name. I will come to the general under visual. The x-axis, I don't need, we already know is date. I don't need to have date written here. I'll turn off the title. So under x-axis, I'm turning off the title. Then we are making, for the values, let's make it color white. Same thing for the y-axis as well. Let's turn off the title and let's make the values color white. Okay, so I'm going to pause for a second. Michael's going to quickly talk to us, then we'll continue from there. Michael, you can have the floor.
Thank you, Coach Gbemi. Thank you, everyone. I can see there's quite a number of people on the call, about 46 people on the call. Well done, everyone. I hope you're learning something. I hope so. Now, we will make the recordings available because we're recording this. So we're going to make it available for you just in case. I know it may be very hard to catch up with, but he's trying to do his best to make sure he's taking it softly, gently, so that you are able to reproduce. Even if you've never done this before, you're able to reproduce your first dashboard, your Power BI dashboard in this 3-hour session that we have. But here's the thing. Yeah, this is a drive to a much bigger thing that you can learn. The world has evolved, and you know that, right? There's a saying that data is the new oil, right? Hardly is there anything you're going to do in today's world where data is not involved. The chat GPTs and the like all starts from the fabric of data. They're all built on data. So this is a huge drive to our more robust, comprehensive program, the bootcamp, that is starting on the 19th of this month, on the 19th of this month. So I'm just going to grab the screen for a bit. So if you don't mind me sharing quickly, I'll just grab the screen for a bit. So Coach Bemi, maybe you want to stop sharing. So I'm just going to grab that for a bit. So thank God Coach Bemi is here so he can put me in check if there's anything I'm saying that is not right. So yes, so we have the data analysis program starting. Give me a minute. I hope that was not me. Okay, so we have the data analysis program starting. You can come here and download the brochure, although we will be updating the brochure. Please keep me honest here. Right now, it's SQL, Power BI, and Excel, right? But you're planning to put in Microsoft Fabric. Could you
Yes,
get me?
so yeah, that's correct. We'll be deploying on Microsoft Fabric and we'll show you how to create all those environments and everything.
Okay, so Microsoft Fabric is the new thing that we're going to be adding here, right? Okay, so so you guys can hear that. So apart from, because the world of data is always changing, tech is always changing, and we have to go with the flow. Okay, so for this Microsoft Fabric is a new thing that most companies are latching onto, and we want to be on top of that, right? So we will be introducing that. So by next week, by the time we get the full comprehensive stuff from Coach Bemi, we are going to update the brochure. Right now, you're going to find the old brochure there. This says 10 weeks, but it's going to increase to I think 12 weeks or thereabout. It's going to be now 12 weeks. So Coach Bimi probably will keep me honest there. I'm not sure whether it's 10 weeks or 12 weeks, but you will get the right details here. I'm just trying to help you understand what the course entails. So basically, it's very beginner friendly, like what you're doing right now. If you've never had a background in data, it doesn't really matter. You'll be doing hands-on stuff from, starting from the very fundamental of having to manipulate data, clean up data, and work with data using Excel, and then taking that into Power BI, and then moving that to querying, databases of all kinds, especially the relational databases. All right. You will get hands-on practical work for each of all of these. Okay. In addition, with your, putting your resume together, being able to put together a portfolio. Because you see, the difference between data analysis and business analysis is why you can bring previous experiences from your previous roles into business analysis. With data, if you've not done anything data before, you have to create the portfolio for it. So one of the things that Coach Bemi is going to be helping you do in this program, again, he will keep me honest if I'm not saying the right thing, is to help you create that portfolio on Git, all right, on your GitHub, all right? So that's part of the things that you're going to be doing in here. So right now you see that there's the Git for you to, put all of that together. That's one of the things that you'll be learning. The Power BI, the Excel, and the SQL Server for querying. Everything comes together. And even with simple, each of these, you are able to do so much more in the job market, right? So by the time I get that comprehensive curriculum, like I said, this will increase to Fabric. So there will be the Fabric here. So this will include Microsoft Fabric. Now there's the full course breakdown here, all right, with all of the different capstone projects. So we have the projects for Excel when you're done. We have the projects for Power BI when you're done. We have the projects for SQL querying and databases, and these are intense. These are things that are, and the way it's structured is such that you see the same way Coach Bemi goes to work and he's put under certain conditioning to produce, inferences from certain data. That is the same way that these projects, this is the same nature, it's the same way these projects will take. All right, such that when you get into the workplace, you are actually able to man these things. You are able to, work on practical stuff. So this is practical stuff, not just wishy-washy, let's just get by kind of data training. No, this is huge down-to-earth value. And I can tell you that 100%, right? So you start from the basics again. Remember, we are going to take you as though you never knew anything. So we are starting from the basics as though you know nothing. All right. Today we are trying to help you see that this is possible. So why do we do things like this? Why are we doing a class like this and making it free? It's because some of you do not see, you may not be able to see what lies on the other side of the fence. And because you're not able to see what lies on the other side of the fence, it makes it, difficult for you to make certain decisions. So with classes like this, it then becomes very important for you to begin to relate with what can be. And then as a result of this relationship with what can be, you can then begin to make informed decisions as to whether this is for me or not. Because there are some of you that are just enthused by the way, Coach Bemi is doing this thing and the way you are following up, and it fascinates you. Numbers is your thing. Doing something like this is your thing, right? And you can actually begin to see that, wait, that thing which I thought was complex wasn't as complex as I thought it was. Because sometimes we sit behind these fences and we just think a number of things and say, oh, before I can be this, I need to code. Before I can be this, I need to do this. Before, and I've heard so many people say that because of business with business analysis, with product management, with data analysis. Yes, there are some things to code. There are some things you don't code. There's some things you do certain things, there's some things you don't do certain things. So this is an opportunity for you to even ask questions. So I would really enjoin you to ask questions after you are done. When he's done with these presentations, ask questions as regards maybe the program, what it will entail. Is it possible you from this background, are you able to do this? And he can even share with you his story, his own background, how he moved from here to there, right? And how he became an expert over time. So, we do these things so that you are able to have a sneak peek of the possibilities of how possible this can be for you. All right. So right now, we have actually really limited it to the US Canada region. So we're starting on the 19th. We have classes on Saturdays at 9 a.m. EST. That's if you are in the North American side of things. If you're in the Europe side of things, then that would be your 2 p.m. All right. Now, here is where it gets a bit tricky for those in the UK. And here is my offer to you. 7 p.m. on Tuesdays, because we are looking at those, we are really focusing on those in the US and Canada for now, right? Now, but if we happen to have a good representation from the UK, and again, Coach Gbemi, keep me honest, we can create a time that works for you for your second class. What I mean by good representation is if we have a minimum of 7 of you from the UK. If we have a minimum of 7 of you from the UK, all right, that want to take the program, then we will make provisions for you to work on your timeline. That is very possible because Coach Gbemi will be working with, I think, 2 other people, working with 1 or 2 other people with him to help make this a reality. So just let us know that you are interested, and then we'll start making those provisions once we have the right number of people. Okay, right. And for those of you in the US and Canada, that is that. So we're putting all of these things together for you. Now, for the project, everything, including the CV and the interview prep, typically you're going to have like 2 major exhaustive one-on-one sessions with Coach Gbemi, or those that assist him, the tutors that assist him. You're going to have 2 huge exhaustive interview preps. And these interview preps are not just any kind of interview preps. They're interview preps that get into the nitty-gritty on how to smash that interview. Right? We had a lady, what's the name of that lady now? That one that works at Law Depot now.
Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, yeah.
It was one hand. And when I say they say something is one hand, it means you did it once. Smashing the interview once. So that's the kind of and the good thing about data is that if you know it, you know it. If they ask you to do a thing and you can do that thing, then you smashed it. That's the good thing about data. All right. What is this going to cost for the 10-week, 12-week program in addition with the fabric? Is for those of you in the US, if you're making a one-time payment, it's going to cost you $1,800. If you're making a 3-time payment, it's $600. If you're making a 5-time payment, then this is what it costs. If you are in Canada, then it switches to the Canadian pricing there. You can make a 3-time payment, you can make a 5-time payment, right? You can make a 5-time payment. So of course, you see Coach Gbemi here. He has other people that he's going to be working with. And for those of you who are still sitting on the fence, you probably, you're thinking, okay, should I not? We can still give you an exclusive access to week 1. So come in here, fill the form. We will only invite those who fill the form. And you have to, in fact, for those of them coming into the week 1, they have to keep a deposit of $100 because we are only taking serious people into the week 1. If you're not serious, we will not bring you into week 1. So all that time of getting people free access, we give you you put in a deposit of $100 to show that you are very interested, but you want to see what week 1 is like. All right. I think we may have to do that so that we don't waste our time with time wasters, because in the past we've seen time wasters. So if you're getting exclusive access, and that's why we call it an exclusive access to week 1, then fine. You can click on this, fill the form, and we're going to be in touch with you and help you understand how you're going to get access to the week 1. Now, here's my deal for you. And this deal is open till Monday. I'm going to give 20% discount if you are looking to jump on the cohort. I repeat, I'm going to give 20% discount, and that discount expires Monday midnight, right? So if you're interested, you need to jump on that. Now you use the code wherever you're joining from, irrespective of the installment payment you want to make. If you click on a 5-time payment, for example, use the code data20 and apply the code. It's going to give you 20%. All right. Select the course, it's data analysis, right? Put in your email and make the payment. But here is the one more thing I'm going to do for you. Are you ready for it? Here's the one more thing I'm going to do for you. For those of you taking, that is for those of you taking the advantage between now and Monday. There's one more thing I'm going to do for you. I'll give you our robust business analysis course for free. That's crazy. The self-paced course costs $399. But for those of you taking this discount and making that commitment, even if it's an installment payment, by Monday, I will be adding to that the full self-paced business analysis training to you that contains every single thing, right? From software development lifecycle to requirement engineering, to user story practice, to wireframing, and that is huge. What that means for you is that you can now be a business data person rather than just being a data analyst. You can now be a business data analyst. That's huge. So you're killing two birds with one stone. All right. You have, resume, how to put your business analysis resume together. You even have a data module there. So for our business analysis students also have this opportunity to go into data by taking up the data module here. So you see, it's a thing we are trying to help to make sure that you are still able, our students they can extend to other things, right? So if you're taking that between now and Monday, so don't come after Monday and start telling me, if you're taking that, I'm going to be giving you all of these with the Jira training, the self-paced for free. All right. For those of you that are going to be taking on that, I'm going to quickly take on questions. If there are any questions, probably put it in the chat quickly. What of those that are already enrolled in the business analyst, you have the data training in the self-paced course. So 50-50, right? So if you're in the business analysis, you already have the self-paced course that has the data training in it. So that helps you to also be, a business data analyst. I hope that answers the question. All right. Any questions for me? Because I've got to go. Are these going to be the projects that are similar to those that will be done in work environments? Coach Bemi will be able to answer those things about projects and how it's similar to work environments and all of that. It's going to give you the 411 on that, as to, who is getting the self-paced course for free? Those registering for BA course. Those registering for BA course already has that. It's already part of it. For those registering for the data, I'm talking about data. You're registering for data analysis. You're just registering for data analysis, but we're going to give you the BA on the side just to help you increase your scope. So those that are registering for the BA already has all these things. They already even have the data with it. All right. But we don't do that for data. This is just me giving you something to help you on the journey. Now, if you're registering for the exclusive access, register, we're going to be in touch. The exclusive access, we're going to ask you to put something down because we don't want time wasters. If you're coming for exclusive access, it means that you're really serious about what you want to do, and we'll take you seriously. So if you need the exclusive access before you make a decision, then fill the form and we'll be in touch. So go to the website, fill the form, just come in here, fill the form, and we will be in touch. Just come in here, fill the form, and we'll be in touch. But you will not have access to the discount. The people who have access to discounts are those who are making payment before we start. Okay? Is the BA course ongoing now? Yes, we just started a new BA program, and there will be a new one starting. So check our website. There's one starting on the 1st of May. There's one that will be starting on the 1st of May. If you check, yeah, 1st of May. So you can enroll for that. Yes, lifetime access. Everything we do here is lifetime access except our policy changes. If you have any recording that you have access to is usually lifetime access except our policy changes. That is.
And one of the things we are looking at again is, so whenever we have new things coming up, will come in from time to time. For those that have participated in the past, we'll organize like something like a webinar like this to train guys on new things that are popping up in the industry. So you also get access to those trainings for free.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So give me a minute, guys. Because I'm supposed to jump on a class right now. So yes, so on the BA program, your job placement is actually the internship that you do. We help you with the projects and the work, but with job placements, we don't put you on a job. You have to go search for the job. All right. We have provisions for that. If you want us to search for jobs for you, it's going to cost you an extra. All right. If you want us searching for the jobs for you, right, that's going to cost you an extra. But we don't, place you in jobs like that. No, we don't do that. If that's what you're asking for. For those who already have done BA course, do they already have the self-paced course? Yes, if you've done the BA course, you have the self-paced course. If you don't have access to it, reach out to AMA, reach out to any one of us, and then we're going to make sure you have access to it. As long as you've done the bootcamp before on this platform, you will always have access. It's a lifetime access except our policy changes. So if tomorrow they start charging us for space and charging us for videos, then we have to transfer that cost to you. But right now they don't do that. So there's no point, give it to you for free. Right? Yeah. So if you already have access, okay, if you've already done a bootcamp, irrespective of whether you did it in 2021 or 2020, as long as you were a student, we have the file. We can always check, right? We will give you access to that. Everything you had, even if you're a data student, is the same thing. Your data training, you always have access to the recordings, except otherwise says, except policy changes, like I said. Okay. All right, I will hand this back over to Coach Bemi so that I don't disrupt the class so that he can, go on with what he needs to do. Thank you, Coach Bemi, for the time. I appreciate it. Got to run right now. If there's any questions, please feel free to also jump into our, let me share with you guys our lounge on WhatsApp, right? I'm going to share that with you right now so that if you have any question, you can actually, ask us on the lounge and we will do our best to answer your questions, right? So I'm going to share that quickly. I'll share that with Coach Bemi so that he can share it much later. And then I'm also going to share that with you guys, okay? And then you are also able to just join that group, join that lounge, and then you can be in touch with us just in case you have questions. All right, gotta go. Thank you so much, Coach Bemi. I appreciate it. Thank you. And remember, this offer that I'm throwing on the table for 20% expires on Monday, and it comes with the self-paced course. Thank you so much, and I get to work with you very soon. Bye.
All right. Thank you, everyone. So let's see. I would want us to complete this, and I want us to do it within the time we allotted for this. So let's go ahead and bring in. Let's bring in the rest. So let's bring in this one next. I'm going to copy this, or cut it rather, Control X, and paste it here. So let's just do the same thing, make sure it fits well. Okay, just make it look nice and pretty. And first thing we want to do, we want to turn off the background. We want to make use of this background. So to give it like that metallic feel, right? Let's have it here. Come to general, come to effects, and turn off the background. So the title, we want to make the font color to be white. It's currently like dark, so we can't really see it. So let's make it white, and that's good. Okay, now let's go back to the visual parts. So you might be confused. So how do I know how to where the background is, where this thing? It's a new tool. right? This thing comes with experience. You know it over time. The more you work on it, the more you know how to navigate through this thing. So don't worry about it. By the time you do maybe two more projects, or if you complete this one on your own and you take up another project on your own as well, um, you should be able to do it. And we could also send you videos. I mean, on the Skill Garage YouTube channel, you can see other projects that we've done. So you can also look at those ones to just at least by with those videos, you can deliver maybe 2, 3 projects, right? And this thing will solidify your knowledge of Power BI to an extent, right? So let's come back to the visual. Let's come to the bars. So currently, when we wanted to change this, before now, when we wanted to change this color, we had to go to lines. Here, we are going to what? Bars, because this is a bar chart. This is a line chart. So you come to bar and we click on this. I want to use that same green color. So I'm just going to select this. Yeah, it's looking fine. And now this I want to be white, right? So I'll come to y-axis. Let's make this white. And the title is not very conspicuous, but it's here, track name. We don't want it. So I'm going to turn off the title. Same thing for the x-axis. Take the y-axis. Let's just increase the font size. It's a bit small. Let's make it maybe 12. Okay, 10 is fine. Let's come to the x-axis. Let's turn off the title and let's make the values. Let's make it white. Increase the fonts to 10. I think I should increase the fonts for this line chart as well. Let's increase the fonts to 10 for the y-axis, and for the x-axis as well. Let's increase the fonts to 10. Okay, this is nice. So sum of streams by track name doesn't make sense. It's because what we did was just to calculate the sum of streams, and automatically Power BI will rename it based on the operation you're doing. But we want to call it by tracks by streams. So that's what we want to name it. So we select this, come here to the general part, and under title, let's call it tracks by streams. Let's make the stream capital S. So I think this is a better name. Now let's bring in, I want to change this into green. But yeah, let's look at it. I want a darker, did I use a darker green? Let's see. Let's change this background. This image itself, let's change it into green. Let's come to style. Let's make it green. Yeah, we'll do something nice with it. Let's make it green for now. So come here, let's bring in this two. Control X to cut them. And come here and let's drop it here. First thing we want to do, we want to turn off the background for both of them. So while selecting both of them, let's turn off the background. Come to effects, turn off the background. Now, before I turn off the background, let me do my manipulation because it's not very clear here. Let me expand this one. So I don't want all these legends and everything here. I don't want them. So what I would do, I'll come to the visual slices. I want the big part. I want it to be green. I want like a darker version of green. So I think I have the X code written somewhere. Like I want the darker version of the green. So let me put it here. Energy. Do I want this green? I want like a darker version of this green. So you can just drag this thing down a little. It's not that fine. See, can use this one. Yeah, I can just do it. And this one, I want ash color, something like this. So I have one in mind. The X code is B3, 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 B3. Click on OK. So this is what I want. It's not looking nice now, but just stay with me. Let's look at, so we're done with the slices. The data labels, we don't want any of those. Legend, nah, I don't want the legend. So what else can I do? Let's come to general. The title, if I really want to put a title to this one, I don't want a title. Let me turn off the title. It's time to turn off the background. And there's one more thing I want to do. Spacing. Under slices, we come to spacing. The inner radius is 60%. Let's increase the inner radius to like maybe 80%. Yes, I want it to be slim. So let's see, because it's the same pie chart, if I select, instead of doing everything over and over again, if I select this one, if I select this one that I want to turn this one into something like this. If I select this one that I want, click on this paint brush, this format painter, and paint it with this one. Yeah, to follow the same pattern. Let me do it again. Instead of doing everything again, I'll select this one that I already like, click on this format painter, the paintbrush, and drop the paintbrush on this one. Now, this usually works when they are similar types of visuals, right? Sometimes if you're trying to do it for this and this, it might not work, right? It might not work. So let's change the color as well. I want to use similar color. Okay, let's come to slide colors. I think I used this darker green, and I used yeah. So this one was for the energy, right? So still not making sense enough. Let me bring in one more thing. Let me bring in this card visual and put this energy on it. Let me call it energy percent. I'll put percent just for the side. I will turn off, select this one. I think 60, 45 is fine. I want the sign to be, okay, if I put this one here, okay, so let me see, if I decide to put percentage, it's going to be too much. No. So let's leave it at that figure. I don't want to do, I could have done some formatting, do some concatenation, adding the percentage sign, but I don't want us to go through all that. So let me just turn off the background. Let's make the callout value, the callout value is the big number. Let's make it white, or let's make it that, let's give it that green color, that bright green. The energy, let's give it that ash color. So the energy written down is the callout label. And let's just increase the font size and make it bold. Let me reduce this one. I want to put it just inside. So give us that effect. Let me reduce it a little. Color value, let's make it 40. Okay, that's nice. So I can just copy this one and paste it. This time around, so I will now take away this energy percentage. I'll take it away and use danceability. Remember the second one is danceability. So I'll put danceability percent. So that's the way to work smart instead of picking a new visual again and doing everything from scratch. So you can do it this way. So we have the danceability. So the danceability is not showing. Let's reduce the call out label size. So let's try the 10. So to make for consistency, let's do some 10. You have to make sure you are very consistent. If you're using the same visual, let them follow the same size, the same pattern and everything. Makes sense that way. So I have my average streams per year. Let me pick it up here, Control X. Let's bring it here. Average streams per year. I don't want any background, so I'll come here. As usual, go to General, Effects, turn off the background. Come back to Visual here. The call out label, let's make it white. white. The callout label, I don't want it under, so I'm just going to turn it off. Let's put this one here. So I'm going to insert something we call a text box. So I'll come to insert, come to text box, and call it average streams because I want it to be at the top. So I call it average streams. I want to change the font size because we've been using DIN font size, font type. So I want to make it DIN and let's make it maybe 10. Let's make it 12. Still looking small. Let's make it 14. And I'll bring this one here, reduce this a little, and let's turn off the background. So go to effects, turn off the background, and change the text fonts to white. And it's still looking small. Let's increase it to maybe 16. Average streams. Let's put this one here. So I want to copy this one. It's very, very, very tricky copying this text box. I hate using it. So I usually select this. When it brings this remove, then I'll click on this button there, click on that edge there, Control C, Control V. It's always very tricky to copy. Most times I just end up doing something else. Most streamed song. Put it here. So the most streamed song, let's put here Blinding Lights and the artist name. Let me copy both of them. Let me bring them here, paste it. And let's see, instead of doing everything from beginning, let me select this one, hold the paintbrush and see. Yeah. So select it again, hold the paintbrush. So instead of doing everything on our own again. So this is the blinding lights. Let's reduce the call out value. Let's make it for maybe 35. Still maybe 30. Let's reduce this a little. Okay. This one, let's make it 20. I want to make sure they are properly aligned, like well aligned. Good. Yeah. Just trying to give it a good feel. And there are some things we call slicers, right? And I'll show you how slicers work. So this is a slicer. This one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is on the fifth row and it's here. If I bring in a slicer, for example, I want to bring in a slicer for the name of the artist. First one, let's bring in for dates. Let me bring in for dates. Let me bring in another slicer, Control C, Control V. Let me bring in another one for maybe artist name, yeah, and track name. Let's say track name. And let me bring in another one, Control C, Control V, cancel it, and artist name. See what will happen. Currently, we have total tracks is 953. If I select, and you can see the number of streams. If I select, let's look at, this is the max streams, right? Let's set it to, okay, let's look at this track. I'm trying to look for a popular one. Let's just do something random. So this City of Gods, of course, is just one track. the max streams for that particular one is 107 million streams. Right. So this filter will set, if you choose this filter, it will show information only about, it will show you only, it will show you information only about that particular song. You can see the danceability score is 47%. The max streams is 107 million. The name of the song, of course, is City of Gods, is by Kanye West, Alicia Keys, and so you can use filter. If I set it to the next one closer, it's 3 billion streams. Wow. Chain smokers and house. This is their stream. This is the name of the song. This is the stability score. This is the energy. So you can use slicers to filter whatever you want to do. So let's bring in these slicers. So this one is okay. This one I want to make it like a drop down. So I'll select both of them. I'll select this one and this one. I want to make them drop downs, right? Instead of check boxes like this. So I'll click on this button here after selecting them. See the slicer settings? I'll set it to what? Drop down. Then reduce this a little. And let me change the name. Instead of track name, let's just call it track. I'll come to general. Okay, I can just come here as well. Select it, come to this button here, and let's just call it track. This one, let's just call it artist, right? And yeah. So for this one, I don't want this slider to show. It is okay. People can go in and select whatever date range they want. So I can select this one, come to this middle button. This slider is currently on, we'll turn it off. So I can pick these three, Control X, and let's come here. Let's just drop it here. So while three of them are selected, I can come to this middle button, General, Effects, and turn off their background. Still, while they are selected, come to the values. Let's make it white. So let's make it white. Slicer header as well. Let's make the slicer header white. Slicer header, let's make it maybe 12 for everything. You know what? Yeah. So let me reduce this. So what I want to do again, especially for these two, for the values, it has something called background. I want to make the background. Then I want to make the font size white. So if I bring this one up here, this is what it's going to look like. So I can reduce this size. Same thing here. I want to make the background black. Now I want to make the fonts. The font is already white. So for some reasons, that doesn't really work well for dates. I don't know why. But I can turn it off and decide to put in a title instead. It works better for me. So that's what I usually do and make it white. Yeah, it works way better. Can make it 12. Make sure it's not too big. So I want to make all these boxes the same size. So I can just select the three of them, come to general, under properties. Let's just make them 270. Yeah, 270 is fine. And select this one, maybe reduce it a little. Okay, let's make them the same height as well. Let's look at the height for this one. What is the height? General properties, the height is 72. Let's select the three of them and make sure type 72. They will all have the same height. So we can just adjust them. I want to bring in one more slicer. Bring it here. I just want so if I go to calendar, I want only the year. And I will now come here, slicer settings. I want it to be a tile format, right? I want it to be a tile format. So currently it's showing me that some years that are blank. It's fine. So what I would do to remove those blank ones, I don't want it. I come to the filter part. Click on this. It's currently on advanced filter. Click on change it to basic filtering. Select everything and uncheck that blank. And you have only the years there. So you can select the year. You can put the year this way. I want to put it here. I don't want it to have any title. I don't want it to have any header. So I'm going to turn off the slicer header. If anybody sees this, they should know it's a year. So I'll select this one here. I want to turn off the background. So I'll come to effects, turn off the background. I want this to be black and the text to be white. So what I can do, come to the values, the background of the value, let's make it black. And let's make the font, let's make it white and increase the size a little. So if I come here, if I select, look at it, it's not just for decoration. If I select 2020, see, 2021, this is the average streams in 2021. They are responding to the slicers. It's not just for, and in case you select a slicer, you want to go back to the default settings, you click on it again, then you're back to the normal. I can see how beautiful our dashboard is becoming. So one more thing I want to do, let me bring this one here. We just bring in a few things. This one as well, I want to bring it in. Let me turn back on the callout label. We make the callout label, let's make it white. Oh, no. Sorry, let me do Control Z. Control Z. Control Z, go back. Control Z. And Control Z. Okay, go back. So let's have we have the number of tracks. Let's have the number of tracks here. Let me insert a text box. Text box. Let's say welcome. Welcome. So there's a way I can do this text box to tell you good morning if you're in the morning, tell you good afternoon. But I don't want to, because of time, I don't want to do that, right? So we're just going to use welcome back. And even this welcome back that I'm doing, the way I would set it over it was in my organization. It's going to say, if you log into that page, it's going to say welcome back and it's going to call your name. The way I will configure it. So it's not just going to be welcome back this. It's going to call your name, but just for the sake of this class, I'm just going to put in a name there, right? Just say welcome back. Okay, let me put it here. Then I'll work on this later. So let's call this one. Let me select this one. Let's call it total tracks. Right? Let's call this one most streams. Streams. I mean, yeah, most streams. What else can we do? What else can we? What other information do we want to display? So this one will be responding to filter based on anything we select. If you select shape of view, it's going to show shape of view and everything here. So let's look at the most streamed artist as well. Let me Control C, Control V. Most streamed artists. Most streamed artist. Let's do one more. So it's just like for demo, let's just put most streamed song as well. So we just show this again. Let's select the 4 of them. Let's turn off the background. Let's make the callouts label, color value, let's make them white. Let's make it 30. Yeah, that is fine. And the callout label as well. Let's make it white and probably make it, I want it to be this DIN as well. And let's make it 14. Okay, let me reduce this. So let me bring in this text box. So welcome back. Then say, take a look at your daily report. Maybe take your daily reports. Then down here, I'll say info. Let me bring this one here. Let me put this here. Before I do this, let me make sure I'm putting all these ones. They are at the forefront. I would say maths, bring to front. So I'll select this one. Go to the general, let's turn off the background. This one, let's make it also that DIN font, and let's make it maybe 32. The one under, also let's make it DIN, and let's make it 18. Then this info, let's also make it DIN. Let's make it 18 as well. So let's make this, they're all DIN. Let's make them whites. Let's underline this. So make this our dashboard, and if you publish this and response to sliders, like I said, if you select a particular artist name, it's going to respond to about the, oh, this is overall for this artist, this is your danceability score, this is the energy level for their song, this is the, for example, 21 Savage and Ghana, this combination of artists, they have just one song together, 61 million streams, name of the artist, was the streamed song. So you can see how you can filter all these things based on whatever you want. You want to look at 50 Cent, for example. Oh, his song has about 1 billion streams. This in the club. I think this was around year 2000. So you can filter it, and you can also filter by a date range. Maybe you want to see for 2020, you want to see for 2021, and you can do other analysis based on this. So this is just a simple demo. You can do more. What I did is actually a bit more fancy than this, but if you can do this, let me see it on, put it on your LinkedIn. Let me see. Just tag me. I'll be happy to engage your post. Tag it. Let me see what you can do. And yeah, I'll be happy to engage your post. Like I said, let me show you the one I did personally. So this is the one I did personally. It's a bit more, right? I used the cover URL and I made sure it's looking a bit more fanciful, right? So then all these things that you see here, the image, the advanced techniques that we can't, unfortunately, we couldn't cover in today's class, right? And bringing in all these things, making sure the image fits directly with the placeholder I've created here. Having this type of bar chart and not just this type of donut chart and not just the regular one that we have here. It's a lot of advanced stuff. All this should be learning in the main camp. But this is not very far from what we did in today's class. Any question? I know I did a lot, and I expect you to watch the video to be able to, follow along with those things. Any question? I'll be happy to take your questions if you have any. Any question from you guys? Generally about what we just did, about data analysis, about the boot camp. If you have questions, I'll be able to take them. For those that don't have questions, if you're on the WhatsApp group that Michael shared, the WhatsApp, the lounge, the YouTube video will be shared on that. So you can watch the YouTube video to recreate this thing that we've done today. So YouTube, and even if you're not there, just search Skill Garage. Wait until maybe tomorrow or Monday and search for Skill Garage. This video should have been uploaded by tomorrow, so you'll be able to follow along. Yeah. So if you have questions, I'll take them. If you don't have any questions, if you're done, we'll be having, I think, one more boot camp next week, Saturday. We'll be doing something totally different as well. We'll be doing another data set. I've not decided on what we'll be doing, but we'll do something around real estate or something around housing, something around telecommunications. We'll find something interesting to do next week as well. It's going to be an hour earlier. It's going to be around um, 9 a.m. EST. We're going to be doing the same thing. We're working with a different data set. So if you have questions, also you can also ask me in case you try to do this on your own and you still have questions. You can ask next week Saturday, 1 hour earlier than we started today. If you don't have any question, I'll see you guys next week Saturday. But if you have questions,
Hello.
please stay behind. I'll be willing to take your questions. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody was talking. Go ahead.
Yes. My name is Olakunle. Yes. So my question is this: importing the Excel something. How do we know the parameter or the features to use that we arrive? Okay, we are using all what we have there. Do we just pick, or do we have like a problem statement on which we have to work on?
I'm not sure I understand your question clearly. So your question, let me reframe your question. It's like, how do I know I'm to calculate average streams? How do I know I'm to calculate?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
these are based on business requirements. You can't just go out there and start with anything you like. When you work in a company, before they make an analysis request, they'll tell you what we would like to see this. Can you help us? Oh, sure. Then you meet with your data team. Oh, I need to do an analysis on this. Which tables will get this information? They will direct you to the tables. You connect to the tables, and based on what they want to see, decided they want to see danceability. Why are you calculating average streams? You just go straight to what they want to see, and based on what they want to see, you will build. I'm assuming so. I'm the one creating the requirements for myself, and these are the things I want to see. That's why I have it here. When you are doing your own, you can decide to view. Some people might be not be interested in danceability and energy level. Some people might be interested in, for example, acousticness, liveliness of the song, speechiness of the song. They want to see how lyrical the song is. If you want to look at some of these things, it depends on what you want. This is what I want. That's why you see here. So you get business, you build your report based on the requirements of the business. Yeah. Long
All
story
right.
short, that's to build it based on requirements. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. If people refuse to go, oh yeah, go. If you don't have questions, I'll see. Let me stop the recording. I think we are good here. So we don't record the awkward silence that was coming after this.